Hello and welcome to the Easy Allies podcast. I'll be your moderator, Brandon Jones. Joining me this week, panelists Michael Huber.
Hello.
Michael Damiani.
Yo.
My shark cruising co-moderator, Mr. Daniel Bloodworth.
Hello.
And making it all happen in the control room, Isla Hink.
Hi.
Hi. Distinguished guests, we are here to discuss some of the biggest headlines in the world of video games. But before we do that, we must first answer for all of the mistakes, 2 of them, that we made in the last podcast. Isla, begin corrections music, please.
Boop.
The Xbox conference stated all mainline Yakuza games were on Game Pass, so it was legit.
Yep.
We got a little silly, but they said mainline games. We were like, there's plenty of Yakuza games that are in there. Mainline Yakuza games. Far Cry 5 had a remaster of Far Cry 3 in its season pass, so Blood Dragon is that.
Yeah.
I think in text, just throw the word remaster on there. I think that would help.
Yep.
Just knowing, but there were a lot of people that enjoyed replaying Far Cry 3 or playing for the first time in Far Cry 5 if they got the season pass. We're surprised we did not know. End corrections music, please. Cool. Yeah. Play Blood Dragon again? Yeah.
Cool. I'll play again.
Blood Dragon's good enough that we were like, yeah, just throw Blood Dragon in there.
Yeah,
You
just
know,
throw it
it's
in.
like, that's a value. Just Blood Dragon on its own. If you haven't checked it out.
Totally.
Michael Bean always needs work, right?
Mandalorian.
Yes. Just that one episode. Michael Damiani, previously on this podcast, I asked you, if you were developing an indie game, how would you feel if people thought you were Hideo Kojima? Has your opinion changed on that over time? How do you feel about it now at the end of June 2021? Mistaken for Hideo Kojima.
First, would have felt honored, but now nervous. Scared of expectations that come with that. It was fun at first, all fun and games, but now reality is setting in and having that existential crisis moment right now.
It's a very fascinating situation. This is the week after E3. We talked about E3 after the fact. We talked about E3 before the show really kicked off and the podcast before that. This is the first time we're in the studio. We can just talk about any darn headlines we want. And this is so fascinating to me. But we have talked about it on the podcast before. I didn't lead the podcast with it because now we got Keeley involved. Now we got Schreier involved. The saga of Blue Box Studios, which is making Abandoned for the PlayStation 5. One person in Love and Respect was like, it'd be great if you dived into that Blue Box story. I was like, we're kicking off the podcast with it, maybe.
But Abandoned's not the actual name of the game, apparently. They're teasing some other name that
like a
starts with an
project.
S and ends with an L.
Project something or other.
They like to tease. It's not only a problem that this horror game is being associated with the horror game Hideo Kojima intended to make and the wonderful, very short horror game that we got to play on the PlayStation 4. They're very sneaky and they love to tease over there. And I would love to say it's kind of like, biting them, but it's like, it's not their fault. They're just out there, making a game.
But their teases are bad.
They're just getting started. Kojima's teases were bad around the Stalker days, probably. It took a long time for him to
they were like, can you guess what blue really stands for? And everyone was like, what? And it's like best level user experience?
Yes.
And I was like,
God.
shut up. Oh, God.
Whatever they did, it worked because every single person is talking about this game, and we saw so many games at E3 and so many great-looking games, and we forgot like almost half of those. But here we are talking about this game, and like you said, Damiani, with those the expectations are there now for this game. Maybe it's like higher expectations for it, but on the flip side, it's also getting eyes and publicity and notice.
But
Right.
it seems like it's going to be for the wrong reason in the end because people are building these expectations that it's something that it's not ultimately going to be.
It's true.
And as fast as everyone was talking about it, it's going to be forgotten and even maybe like it will backfire on them. Like people distance themselves from that. Like, oh, this company, they made us believe this was a secret Kojima game, but it's like, did they really? It's like, did they really?
didn't.
And it's like, this is the danger of like when this can just happen. It's like, whose fault is it really? Kojima has done this before.
Right.
Phantom Pain, this is the whole like guessing game with that and all like the clues. Now people see that and they think it's that again. They convince themselves and everyone buys into it. Like I think people just want to be excited and it's like I feel bad for the developer publisher because like, wait, we were teasing, but we didn't do this. What do you guys did? Stop it! Like they should have like.
They didn't ask for this.
I mean, I would always be constantly denying, coming out more aggressively. But I mean, it seems like even a denial didn't help. People are like,
Right. They've denied
we
it
don't believe you.
before now, and it came back up. So it's
like, what do you do at this point?
What do you do?
Get Hideo Kojima to say no? Like, now we don't really believe you. Now you got Kojima involved some
I
way.
know.
It's like
That would be
on their Twitter or like mentioning them or something. Like, can you imagine?
you
So I mean, we can
Yeah.
rush to literally the end of my notes here and just get to the juicy part of the story, which is what do you do? If you're Kojima, what do you do? If you're Blue Box, what do you do? I'll go through what they have done. They have shouted from the rooftops that no, like as fun as that would be, and as much as we love a good marketing campaign, it is just not the case.
I know they're showing more of the game soon, right? Or
yeah, I think that's what they're trying to tease
Yeah.
towards, but. It seems like some of those details get lost in the mix of
Yeah.
like, what the heck is happening here?
Exactly. So do you just lean into it? I don't know. Like again, I think this is good publicity if you're,
But you can't lean into it if it's like at somebody else's expense.
True.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. But I mean, do you do like lean into it? I mean, like just cheeky Metal Gear gifs or like on Twitter. I don't know. What would you do at this point?
The SNL thing, I think, is probably leaning into it. But then again, it's like, well, wait, that's not what we want. We don't want you to think that. It's not actually Silent Hill, but
Right.
Did they reveal what that actually stands for yet? The SL thing?
I don't know.
They're like, it starts
I
with
think
S
we're
and
still
ends
calling
with
it
L.
Abandoned at the moment.
Do you know how they're debuting their trailer tomorrow?
On an app, right? I think it's the PlayStation
Oh, right.
app I saw.
No, it's a separate app. They're making
Yeah.
their own app.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you need to download
By the
the
time
app,
everyone watches this, they're going to know the answers.
and then the new
Yeah. I'm just waiting for someone to put that on YouTube, just like normally.
Right.
Just that video. Like, I don't want to download this app.
Oh, it's
on
like the
my phone.
E3 having a
Sorry.
show floor on the freaking registration and all. It's like, what is this?
Yeah.
It's a bunch of mini websites pointing to the real websites.
Yeah.
Gaming consumers on average are very unhappy when they don't get what they thought they were going to get. And this is a case of that happening, a tidal wave of misinformation
Yeah.
being generated by no one. I mean, like there are people talking about it online, but it's not, there's no smoking gun here. Like this is just, it's madness.
Yeah.
All of the things I'm about to state are 100% true.
Okay.
Okay? All of this, facts.
These are facts.
These
Okay.
are facts.
Let's hear it. Let's hear
Consider
it.
this.
Dutch developer Blue Box Studios is making Abandoned for the PlayStation 5, which they're going to rename tomorrow. We're going to see more gameplay of that. The Konami shop has recently been teasing Silent Hill merchandise.
Okay. Correlations.
There are a few strange coincidences between Kojima and Abandoned's director Hassan Karaman, which, again, I'm not going to go into detail because none of those mean anything. But like there was a huge mystique around these two men in terms of like, just various things about their life, about their work. On June 9th, Hideo Kojima tweeted, "Thanks, Harper Books. The Silent Wife by Karen Slaughter, the latest in the Will Trent series. The latest window was kidnapping action. And then there's Joe Hill's story, Full Throttle. He's much more interesting in short stories than long ones. Looking forward to both of them." Just take it
Wow.
all in. Fact.
Okay.
There was the famous Blue Box tweet where we learned it was best level user experience. Thanks for that. There is an Instagram post from Hideo Kojima where he is holding a blue box.
That's the one. That.
Oh my god.
What is the blue box he's holding? Do we know?
I don't.
Like, what is this? Blue
What's in the box?
Yeah, I need to know what the context is of that blue box, because that is an intense coincidence. Amidst all of this, him holding a blue box, like, what are the odds?
PlayStation.
49 seconds into Abandoned's teaser trailer, the words "kill the trespasser" appear graffitied on a brick wall. There is a tree blocking "kill the trespasser," and it is only covering the letters P and T.
I feel like they knew. If they weren't
way.
involved with Kojima,
No way.
if they weren't involved in Kojima, though, do you want to like make your game look like PT? I don't know. It's always
Everybody's making that game look like PT.
Exactly,
What are you talking
exactly.
about?
We've been having PT
It's a
goggles
nod.
for the last like 6-7 years, man.
But, like,
Everything- we thought Eternal was PT. Like we can't stop.
that to me though is a nod. That's not like, yo, we're making a Silent Hills game. We're not working with Kojima. We're like hey, we're nodding PT. We like that game.
I think
cool.
it's an indie team. I think it's a tree. I don't really.
Either one, sure.
What's that movie with
Because
Jim
they
Carrey
said-
numbers?
Somebody
Number
spray
23.
painted trees across the environment, and that's where that one
Herman
landed.
has said, he's like, I believe the quote he said to IGN was like, "Yeah, it hasn't been fun." He's like, initially I laughed. He's like, but we're an independent team. We don't have time for this. Yeah. We don't have a whole like marketing team or something. We're just focused on the game. This is something that we're really passionate about.
As far as I can tell, it's in mostly Japanese, but it looks like a boxed set for New Order, the band that Kojima's
Okay.
holding. Like
So
they
it-
made the
that's
song
some
Blue
Kojima,
Monday.
yep.
And
you
it
know?
just so happens to be blue.
Blue Monday.
Right, Blue Monday.
Schreier waited on Twitter on June 17th. June 17th happened to be the same day they posted that blue. What does blue stand for? While everyone was flipping out about it. Like, that was the day. They were like, what is blue? Then later they were like, it's this silly name. Schreier said, just catching up on the abandoned Hideo Kojima Silent Hill ARG conspiracy, and it's truly incredible. I personally couldn't care less about Silent Hill, but I sure do hope this is real. What about that last sentence? Why do you need that? What's that about?
I don't know.
It's to show that they're not personally invested in this, so that they're dissociated from it, so they're not biased.
Sure.
Because people will be more inclined to believe this theory. You want to believe what you want to believe, because like you're
Good call, Manny. I'll take
You
that.
need that neutral or antagonistic perspective to be like,
Nice.
that's just coincidental. That's not like hard correlation or hard causality there.
I think Silent Hill fan emotions are too raw for Schreier to play with him like that. Like, I think that's scarring. I don't know. A little rough. Keeley said on Reset Era, same day. Just to set expectations, I honestly don't think this is what you guys think this is. But even he doesn't know,
I feel like he knows, but he's not allowed, dude. He's NDA'd. He's not allowed to say, so he just wanted to be like, yo, it's not it. But
trying
I
to
can't
help
say it's
as much
not
as
it.
he can.
I can only say
Right.
he doesn't think it is.
How many hours a day is he on the phone with Kojima? How many times does he go to Japan every year? He's not watching him all the time. Who knows?
Speaking of, I don't think we brought it up last week, but I thought it was hilarious that like Keeley just put out like an "I told you so" at the end of E3 when everybody was like, "Oh yeah, wasn't that exciting of an E3?"
Wow.
I liked it.
He did tell us.
So, and that's the thing. It's like that's why I preface this by saying this doesn't go anywhere, because all you got to do is rewind to April when Karaman told IGN, all I wanted to do was tease our game. Regarding our social media presence, we're a small team, not a big AAA studio. It's already hard work to put on a highly polished game for PS5. So we really can't spare the time to work on our social media presence full time, while it is important. He tweeted on the 22nd of this month and looks extremely tired. It says, I just wanted to do a really quick video to show myself that I am a real person and I am not really associated with Hideo Kojima. I'm not an actor. I'm not working on Silent Hill. The dumber this gets, does it get more believable? Is that what's happening here?
Right, because it's like you putting a video of yourself saying I'm not an actor doesn't actually prove anything.
Yeah, what do you do? See, that's the thing. You were like, oh, you should vehemently deny it the whole time, or if you were the developer now, like maybe play into it. It's like if you deny it, that's playing into it. If you play into it, it makes people more angry. If you don't do anything,
Put a bunch of photos of yourself up at GDC or something. I don't know. It's just
Show us that
so
you do
weird.
not have a SAG-AFTRA card.
I think
Prove
if
it.
Come on the Easy Allies podcast.
I think if they just have a trailer and it's not called Silent Hill anything, it'll be done.
Yeah.
And I think everyone will potentially move on from this. I don't know. I'm never gonna forget this game now.
They should show really.
There's a lot of survival horror games like this in the woods, and
Yeah.
this is one now that I'm gonna be paying close attention to.
True.
So
Many reviews are going to start with the opening paragraph, like, so
Yep.
this game.
Yep.
And you're like, I wish you
totally, this is a big game now.
wish you would
Like,
just kind of get to the
yeah.
story of the game itself and not all of these things have absolutely nothing to do with it.
The bummer about this to me is like, does this mean that like smaller independent studios like can't do ARGs and can't do weird stuff without everyone just assuming that everything is Silent Hill like forever?
For horror, like, like that's the is like.
Does
are we-
Kojima just own being weird? Now?
Basically, yeah, basically.
I don't know. It just feels like a strange thing that just sort of happened, because there've been, like we said, there've been plenty of games that are similar to this, that are
Yes.
similar to PT.
Yep.
And I don't think any of them have been accused of actually being Silent Hill.
No, because it's always like, oh, this PT style game, or like, yeah.
I mean, I think to me, tweeting it starts with S and ends with L. Like, you gotta know better. Like that's too far. That's a bridge too far.
It's like, what if he doesn't know he's Kojima? You know? I think the only person I would trust to say that any one of us are not Kojima would be Kojima himself. And he's remained.
I mean,
totally
obviously,
cool.
what we really need is a new Silent Hill, and then everyone.
Then it'll
forget
fix
about it.
everything. Yeah.
Now I'm looking at words,
coming.
lists of words that start with S and end with L.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Oh no.
Sinister.
But
Wait,
is it one word?
Is it one word?
But we don't know.
Yeah.
Sequel.
Survival.
Survival.
Sensual.
Yeah.
Sarcocogeal.
Survival.
Sizometrical.
That's a word.
Semi-elliptical. Sociopolitical.
Sociopolitical would be
Sovietological.
hilarious.
Social.
I love it if the title of the game is one of these, Isla.
Subterrestrial.
You're
Hubert,
calling it.
Subterrestrial.
Terrestrial could be. Yeah.
Subterrestrial is a good one.
Yeah.
Super essential. Apparently one word. This is our podcast now. There's like 300 of these, right?
Oh my god.
You know, it's not super essential. Tekken X Street Fighter.
I
Did it. I did it. We're in.
Nice.
The time code has shifted.
Frame trap.
We have moved on to another topic. I would love to bring that. I hope in 6 months it's even a crazier story around Abandon and we have to go back. Abandon Part 3.
Same Jones. I'm eagerly watching and listening.
I didn't know this game existed.
You didn't?
I thought this game came out. And then I realized why I thought that game came
Yeah.
out. Because Street Fighter Cross Tekken came out
Yep.
in 2012 after both of these games were announced in 2010. I either didn't know both games were announced or completely forgot.
They're both.
And I'm sure a lot of people that are really close to the story are like, oh, please, this is just sad. This made me sad for 11 years. Please don't talk about it. But this came out of nowhere. Did you know about
I didn't even know about this.
Tekken Cross Street Fighter?
Yeah, I mean, I think most people just assumed it was canceled. Despite
Yeah, at this
Capcom
point,
had
yeah.
said a few times, we're still like they didn't say it was canceled. That we're still trying to figure out what we're doing with it. But it'd been so long. I think everyone
Yeah,
knew.
with the
that-
Bandai Namco
what,
side,
even
yeah.
if they made a game called Tekken X Street Fighter, it probably wasn't whatever the heck they were working on before. Because originally the premise was, we got Street Fighter Cross Tekken, which is more of the Capcom versus style
Yeah.
of that, and then we were supposed to get one that was more in the Tekken style, like 3D fighter, and that's the one This is the one. This is
Yeah.
the one that got canceled. It's that
Does that still have value today in the current status of Street Fighter? Do you think that's something that Street
I
Fighter
think
fans
the
would be excited
problem
about?
I don't think people cared about the. I think that's the problem. Is Street Fighter Cross Tekken bombed, and so that kind of like
Also,
knocked the wind out
they're
of
already
Tekken
doing
Cross
so
Street
many
Fighter.
crossover characters in their normal games now
Right.
that like this premise is kind of like you got to go bigger than that. That's not big enough anymore.
Yeah.
It's not as exciting. So people either want from Capcom like another Marvel versus Capcom or like a big versus crossover, and from Tekken, I think they've already had some of those cameo characters. It's just like keep making Tekken, keep making those cameo ones. But like I don't think anyone ever wanted it to necessarily maybe be like Street Fighter or have like those types of like character. Those I don't know. They had like Akuma was in Tekken as the guest character,
in Tekken
and I
7,
liked
correct.
and I like playing as that. It was cool, but it's like it feels cool, but it doesn't quite translate right. So I think it would have been a little bit weird to bend, those characters to the rule set and the physics in the world of Tekken. And they've added way other better guest characters over the years for Tekken 7. So it's like just do that, focus on that. I think, and I think they found their niche with that rather than continuing this long promised forever ago project that's like
Right.
it's not that interesting anymore.
That's a bummer. It's interesting that this came out the same week that Kazuya is now in Smash Brothers with Ryu.
Oh, perfect timing.
Oh yeah, sure.
Perfect timing. Yeah.
But it does kind of make you realize like how far we've come with a lot of fighting game crossover stuff.
Did you know where was this again? It was like an interview with Harada, right?
It was from a show that he started this year called Harada's Bar. And it's a
Oh,
picture
okay,
of Harada and the guy interviewing him, and they're just chilling in some undisclosed bar talking about, Tekken updates. And that's a crazy thing. It wasn't like, and now, a special announcement from Harada. Somebody just asked him questions like they do on the show, and he just started like, we're not doing it.
Yeah, I think-
and he just straight up said it.
That's interesting because to me the most interesting part of the story is like what does it take to get a game canceled, I think it's like bad publicity, so that's why they never do it. Like deep down, it's just like never canceled.
Right.
But it just like lingers on. Like it's canceled, but it's not, so they don't have to say it.
So maybe
I
it's
don't
just him being tired. Maybe he hasn't worked on it for a couple years, and so he's like, I don't understand why I'm keeping the secret anymore.
Exactly.
He's like,
Also,
like
it's not happening.
it wouldn't have ever been an official thing. It was just
But-
it took like some random thing in a bar to.
The other thing is we also saw just recently Metroid Dread, that a project that did exist and even was like they didn't officially cancel it. Just
They
kind
didn't
of
officially announce it.
Yeah, and they never officially announced. I mean, even if it was,
Patrick
it's
Klepek
like,
backed you up apparently, just or had the same sentiment where they were like, haven't I seen this game?
Yeah. I'd have to see actual That's why I really want to see actual footage of the original DS game to see if I recognize it. Then it's like okay, but that was the other thing that was I think a correction that people brought up was there was Metroid 4 footage, which was
Correct.
prototype of Fusion the year before Fusion came out. And I'm pretty sure that's what I remembered seeing because that looked really different than the final version of Fusion.
You never know when strange Nintendo footage is coming out. Never know we're gonna get some VHS tape of people in some Nintendo factory, making NESs for like 2 hours.
But with this Tekken story though, they had said that it was like 30% complete. And they kind of poked around with it, and he was really proud of some of their models, but because they don't have authorization from Capcom, they can't really show some of the art
really
design.
proud of the models. He repeated himself a couple times, but this is most of it. And this after, I just love the initial, you brought that up. We were working really hard on that. We really were. We had really nice models. It was so good. I really wanted to show them Chun-Li. I wanted to show you guys all the characters. We were pretty confident. You can see Akuma's model. It's pretty cool from his guest spot in Tekken 7. Other character models were pretty cool too, which we could show you them eventually, but Street Fighter belongs to Capcom, so we can't do it on our own. Yeah, development stopped. We got around 30% done. We even had motions, which you can see reflected in Akuma. The development experience was useful. Dhalsim turned out as well as we expected. Pretty good. Ooh. I know we can never show this, but the concept art we got from the artists, what a waste. A lot of artists collaborated on that.
Dude, where is that concept art? That could be sold.
Like
at
most
an
of it they
auction.
couldn't use because just weird ideas,
Maybe as part of the settlement, the lady that Capcom stole all those textures from will get to release a book of all these
They bring gamer after gamer into the room to be like, I would like Capcom to do this. And like, you have to do it now, Capcom. That would be fantastic. So yeah, but here's the fascinating thing. So he came out later and actually said, wait, I mistranslated my own podcast. And when I said it was stopped and dead, I actually meant paused and shelved.
Wait, what? So it's not officially canceled?
Well, that's the thing. I don't think it was officially canceled. I didn't believe it was officially canceled when he said it. It sounded to me like somebody who's like, I mean, we're all adults here. This game's not happening. Like he was. Yeah. It's not like somebody who was years away from the work that he's saying he misses. So it's like it does not seem like something that anybody's talking about right now. Most likely, it's not going to happen. But hilarious that he, specifically touched on that.
Like when a game gets canceled, does the company stock go down? Right? Like when Blizzard canceled that Titan or whatever it was, then their stock take a hit. So maybe that's just why companies
I also
never
wonder
really
too when you talk
anything.
about canceling. Like it's such a strange thing because there's so many projects that go on kind of behind the scenes. Like it would be interesting to sort of like dig around in the history and like, did Bandai Namco ever like officially announce it? Did they put out logos for Tekken Cross Street Fighter, or was it just something like, hey, we're talking about this and kind of fan events and Tokyo Game Show things? And they had shown off Street Fighter Cross Tekken, but they had never really showed us what Tekken Cross Street Fighter could look like. So I wonder if it didn't officially get canceled because it didn't get officially announced. Yeah, but I'd have to look into it more. Yeah,
it's one of the reasons I love movie trailers so much because whenever like my movie friends like tell me some crazy movie casting news, I'm just like, show me the trailer. It's like I don't get excited about something that might not happen. It's just like
totally.
Game development's one thing. Movies stop. On a dime. Everybody pack it up and go home. But yeah, I wonder if it was a shareholder thing. I wonder if they were afraid because if you release the headline any time in the last 11 years and you say this game's not happening, more people I think will read that headline than remember this game hadn't come out yet. I think it's just always inevitably you're just gonna shout from the rooftop. We made a mistake, and it's just not something that people are generally excited to do. Do you have any hope that this is gonna happen, Damiani? Now that paused and shelved.
And anything's possible. I just think if it happens, it'll be something different. Like they'll start from scratch. I mean, maybe they'll use that cool concept art. Hope they do, but
take those character models and upgrade them for a new Tekken game.
Yeah,
have another guest character.
I I just don't. Yeah, I'm leaning more towards no.
Again, you can hear it in his voice that this thing is gone. that is the tone of somebody that is sad they do not get to make this game anymore.
Jones, did Rockstar ever cancel Agent? They never officially canceled it, right? See? That's
Yeah.
so freaking weird.
But that's
it's got to be
not
just stock related, honestly.
right. That's a super not a team that I think is like, oh, we've just been slowly chipping away at that. It's like, now they're going, all full cylinder on something.
Well,
or not.
another thing too is it felt more like a kind of like this kind of like friendly, collaboration between Ono and Harada, and Ono is not a Capcom anymore, and so that makes it even more kind of complicated. And I think that ideally, if they were really going to pull this thing off, it's almost like those games should have come out at like the same exact time. It's like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like something that's really thought of from a marketing sense.
Sure.
It's like, hey,
reminds
this will be fun. Let's do it.
Yeah, kind of reminds me of bets. It's like we have a bet and the two people lose and one person does the bet and then like looks at the other person like, all right, fine, I'll do the thing. Pressured. You better make that game, that incredibly creative fighting game with all the cool concept art. You better finish that because you have to. No. We'll see. And now, a word from our sponsors. Unhappy with your smile? You don't have to be. Thousands of people have used Candid, the clear, comfortable, removable, and practically invisible aligners to help straighten their teeth, and now they love their smile. Just like Justin M. from Atlanta, Georgia. When I was younger, I used to have a gap in the front and on the side. I noticed that people would always look at my mouth first, so I was looking for a fix. Candid ended up being the perfect company for me. You can't stop me from smiling now. There is no comparison. And Candid's here to help straighten your teeth so you can fall in love with your smile too. Your treatment is prescribed and closely monitored remotely by a licensed orthodontist who is an expert in tooth movement. You'll have the same quality of care that you get from an in-office orthodontist, or for the comfort and convenience of your own home. And while other companies use general dentists, Candid only works with orthodontists. This is officially my climbing uphill both ways to school in the snow story whenever I would tell people about having braces when I was like, the braces in the 80s? Man, and I remember like had braces finally like this century. I was like, there's slightly off. I'll get braces again. Granted, it was not Candid, and like how far tech had come in that time was just like astonishing. So I cannot imagine how far tech has come in regards to Candid. Best part about it, with Candid, the same orthodontist who created your plan is with you from start to finish, so you never have to wonder how you're doing. The average Candid treatment is just 6 months. 6 months. Years I had braces on. You'll start seeing results way before then, and it costs thousands less with traditional braces. It's the thing. I want you to get Candid. I want you to improve your teeth, but I will also be very jealous. Become your best you. Start straightening your teeth today. Right now, you can save $75 on Candid Starter Kit. Go to candidco.com/easyallies and use code EasyAllies. One word. That's candidco.com/easyallies. Code EasyAllies. Take advantage of this limited time offer to save $75 on your starter kit. candidco.com/easyallies. Code Easy Allies. Hot take. Your bank account should work with you. I know it's the other podcast, but I get to do it too sometimes. When the sponsor says I have to. Hot take. Your bank account should work with you, not against you. Chime is an award-winning app and debit card with no hidden fees or monthly premiums. After all, you earned your money. You deserve to keep it. This has fee-free overdraft on up to $200 in debit purchases with SpotMe. It's like overdraft protection, but better. Get your paycheck, benefits, stimulus check, tax return up to 2 days earlier with direct deposit. No hidden fees or monthly premiums. Plus, they have over 60,000 fee-free ATMs at locations like Walgreens, 7-Eleven, CVS, and more. That's more than the top 3 national banks combined. You can turn on alerts to have them let you know when your card is used and instantly block your card if something seems fishy. You can save on autopilot when you sign up for a Chime spending account. You can enroll in an optional savings account and grow your savings automatically with 0.50 annual percentage yield. That's 10 times the national average. Join millions on Chime. Sign up takes 2 minutes, doesn't affect your credit score. I have a rule in the Easy Allies podcast. All the sign-ups for all the things that we do have to be super fast. That is the world we live in. I will not accept anything else other than that. Apply now at chime.com/allies. That is chime.com/allies. Chime is a financial technology company. Banking services provided by the Bancorp Bank or Stride Bank, N.A. Members FDIC. Eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Overdraft only applies to debit card purchases. Limits start at $20, may be increased to up to $200 by Chime. Early direct deposits depends on the payer. Out-of-network cash withdrawals fees apply. Third-party and cash deposit fees may apply. Go to chime.com/allies for details. I like the challenge. I didn't do it perfectly, but what do you get? And if you are a patron of Easy Allies, thank you. Huber, you like ads?
Sometimes, yeah. I'm a sucker for them. They get me every time, honestly. Not every time, but like I fall victim to ads all the time.
You like ads in your games?
If they're like fake ads like in Shenmue.
Those are real fake ads.
Yeah,
the product is fake, but the ad is real, right?
Yeah.
Because you're seeing it. It's an ad. It's not, you can't buy the thing. Then it's, Facebook hopes you like ads. Facebook's hopes you're gonna, well, we know this. Yeah. What we didn't know, or maybe we knew this, but weren't sure when it was going to be happening. Facebook is going to try to get those ads into virtual reality. In May, Oculus announced that they were starting to test ads in the Oculus mobile app. No big deal. On June 16th, Oculus announced in-headset ads were coming to Blast On
Blade Runner, dude.
from Resolution Games. Minority Report, man.
Yeah,
Just rewatch Minority Report.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Minority Report. Hey, hello, Brandon.
And Minority,
How are you doing
yeah, I
today?
know. I'm doing fine. Hey. Ready to buy some stuff. Let's do it. They were just going to do Blast On from Resolution Games, which again, it's like, do I want to be known for being Hideo Kojima or not? Do I want to be the game that is bringing ads to VR? I don't know. Apparently, Resolution Games wanted that, and they agreed to have their game Blast On be a part of this program. Other developers were, quote, rolling out over the coming weeks, end quote. Oculus at the time said, our primary focus at Facebook Reality Labs is to bring more people into VR, advance the consumer experience, and make progress on our longer-term augmented reality initiatives.
What does that even mean?
We're also exploring new ways for developers to generate revenue. This is a key part of ensuring we're creating a self-sustaining platform that can support a variety of business models that unlock new types of content and audiences. It also helps us to contribute to make innovative AR/VR hardware more accessible. Development's not cheap.
Yeah.
We gotta get money for these developers. They can make more fascinating VR games. We can push the platform forward. Let's test it out.
What are the percentages here?
The percentage.
Yeah. Like these ads, right? How much does
Right.
Facebook get? How much does the developer get?
Right.
You know?
I'm sure that was it. It turned out that Resolution Games has changed their mind. And I bet that was it. I bet the percentages.
Wait, they
just
changed
didn't-
their mind?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for real?
What?
Whoa, I didn't hear this part.
So on Twitter, Resolution Games said, after listening to player feedback,
Yeah. Resolution Games.
we realized that Blast On wasn't the best fit for this type of advertising test. Therefore, we no longer plan to implement the test. To make it clear, and this was in the next tweet, we realized that Blast On isn't the best fit for this type of advertising test. As an alternative, we are looking to see if it is feasible to move this small temporary test to our free game, Bait.
Oh.
With an exclamation point.
And switch. Bait and switch.
This company came to a new resolution. Their game is called Bait. Like, this is too
But
good.
Bait is free and Blast On is a paid game.
Right.
I can understand that backlash. You pay for a game and there's going to be ads in it. Yeah.
And Blast On is a shooter. I have not played Blast On. I have not looked up too much on Blast On. So Blast On was just, review bombed on Steam and Oculus Store. A lot of people left a lot of nasty comments. So that was the quote-unquote player feedback.
Yeah, I think if you want to have advertising in your game, you just got to do it like the movies and stuff, or like, you walk to the counter and your character buys a Coke or something, whatever. Like, if it ever got to that point, that's the most I would be okay with. I mean,
We're at that
you
point.
know,
okay.
I don't want to see
We're at that
like,
point.
yeah, like
Final Fantasy
Coleman,
15,
Coleman, and
Final
stuff.
Fantasy
Sure.
13 had all that stuff
like,
in there. Yeah.
Exactly, stuff like that doesn't fully bother me because it is like the movies. I know you have your thoughts on that, Jones, for sure. Like, it's not ideal,
Well,
it's not
funny
ideal.
because we sort of had the reverse thing happen, right? With Shenmue in Japan, it was
Yeah.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
And then they didn't have the license or
Yeah.
the deal or whatever for the States, so they just
Yeah.
retextured the Coke can.
Totally. For that stuff, though, it makes sense because it's like a real world game. If it starts, like you said, Final Fantasy, that it's in there just
Starts
pulls
breaking
you
it,
out.
yeah.
Cup noodles.
Exactly. If I'm just playing like, Devil May Cry or something and all of a sudden some weird ads start showing up. It's just weird. Yeah.
Tommy Hilfiger
Yeah.
shows up in Devil May Cry.
Yeah, it's
One of the
just weird.
outfits.
I hope it never gets to that point, but part of me wouldn't be surprised if it did.
Even something like, it's been a long time to have played PUBG. Does that have like billboards? Do you remember seeing those like on the map, or that's mostly like farmland? That's mostly just kind of out in the
It
middle of
definitely has
nowhere.
space for them because it's not just farms. Like, there's
But it's
city
like I could
areas and
see
stuff, too.
see this coming to Fortnite and nobody batting an eye, just being like, yeah, whatever. Fortnite.
Totally see
What are you
it.
talking
Right.
about?
PUBG's doing some weird stuff.
Like
now.
I don't see Fortnite being like Captain America, and you're like cool, and they're like Coke, and you're like wait a minute. It's like this
Yeah,
is kind of
'cause
Fortnite's whole vibe.
Yeah, because Fortnite, it's almost like a celebration of the brand rather than like advertising, if that makes any
You
sense.
get to hang out with the brand.
Yeah, they're like, yo, you like this and you want to pay for it, you can.
Man.
You have the option if you want to buy
Yeah,
that
they're
skin.
not going creative enough with this. Final Fantasy 14 just had a thing where you could buy enough Butterfingers and
What?
upload your receipt and get a Butterfinger mount in game.
What does it look like?
It's like it's a creature, just like round thing with like a petal stem coming out of it, and it's normally looks like a plant, but now it's like chocolate. You get a chocolate version of it, and it's like
What?
there you go. 'Cause
Is it normally a mount though? So they
there's a
they
regular
dressed up in
version.
an
It's a
existing
reskin.
mount.
It's a
Okay,
reskin.
good.
But like it has RP on when you like bring it up in the menu. It's like it's rumored it goes around giving people chocolate and stuff. So it's like there you go. Make your customers pay for the product to
Right.
get something in your game as well. It's
It's
like
just like Netflix and streaming has such power too that it just feels like things are going that way. So I'm nervous too of like, are we ever gonna get paid game like non ads in your game so you pay more to not have the ads?
Well, that's
You
what
know?
that Game Pass or you're gonna get ads.
Yeah, or something like yeah, just oh yeah.
Well, I
Sadly,
mean, in
that's
your
mobile,
disc
that
version
happens all the
games.
time.
You even
Yeah.
buy the
Oh, yeah.
disc version, so
Yep.
you're not Game Pass subscriber. You still get ads.
So it freaks me out.
Doesn't Sony do that with the dash bar? They try and install the game ads or whatever. You have to delete every so often with updates.
That was
Yep.
PS4. I haven't seen it on PS5
Oh, hasn't
yet.
been doing it on PS5? Okay. But yeah, PS4 did that. And I was like,
Instantly get that out of here.
please stop.
U2 album or something.
the rhetoric on social media, Huber,
Yeah.
was fascinating to me. It was not what I expected because I initially start seeing what you were saying, where people are like, "I will pay you double for your game to not have ads in it." Like,
will.
if you're short on money, you should have just told me. Like, I will. You know what I mean? Like I hate ads so. Anything, please.
Yeah,
like
no ads, please.
if I have to run on a treadmill to make this game run, I will do it. You just please no ads.
Yeah, well, and I think the thing too that's different, and probably what Facebook is trying to do versus what Huber's talking about, like a product placement thing, is they want to be tracking your activity. They want to be sending you stuff that's relevant to you or whatever. And so yeah, like they would be like changing posters in a bus station in the game or something like that. I don't know. I don't know about the actual
That's Blade
implementation of in headset.
Yeah.
Does the
means
Oculus
them, yeah.
have Does the Oculus have eye tracking? Because it'd be amazing
think
if they
so.
were. You think so? Because you know that they're monetizing or tracking your
I remember
eyes.
some of the more expensive models were really the Quest 2. I don't know specifically if it,
Yeah,
I don't know
I don't
if
think
it dabbles in
does,
that. I think
but-
some of the because I remember seeing some of the higher models touting that like
But
we do that because other models
Like
don't.
I wonder because like you think of the most expensive movies out there and like a lot of them have weird product placement to like make up some of that cash and like all you ever hear is about is how
Mission
much
Impossible. Come on now. Like,
yeah how
Bond, like, yeah.
yeah and how expensive like AAA game development is now. Like it seems logical.
AAA game development. Have you
yeah.
heard of Blast On? Is Blast On your list? Was Blast On at E3?
Yeah.
Just game development in general is
Product
expensive.
placement is like acceptable, I think. It's what Blood was saying. Yeah, when it starts tracking what you're doing and like trying to, that data collection, and now it's like matching advertising habits with like
Please no.
demographics and consumer information. Like, and it's Facebook, so it's like,
Right.
no, like I don't trust you with that crap. I mean, I'm not part of this, so I don't care. But like, I'm assuming it was not just the ad part. It was a lot of people, a lot of their users saying, we don't want you tracking any more of our crap. Stop.
Yeah. This is a dark timeline.
People be
if this
tracking
happens.
though. I mean, Naraka Blade Point had 488,000 players in their beta or whatever the hell that they kept touting in all their ads.
All tracked.
Everything is tracked.
I am
Tracked.
Yeah, they do
shocked
track a lot in
by the
games, yeah.
acceptance of this ad program. from
I'm
Facebook
not
by this
accepting
desk.
it. I
Everybody-
see it. I see the logic behind it. I don't agree with it, but I can see it.
I can see the glint in your eye. You can see the revenue they're going to make.
Oh
You know,
my
the revenue streams, baby.
I don't know
revenue
where you got acceptance
opportunities.
from any of this. What?
I can't. Yeah, I hope this doesn't happen. But
Lila, is this the future? Are we just?
We
It's just going to happen.
this has been happening for 15 years. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Like
Coleman.
phones have been doing this forever.
yeah, phone games. It's like the big AAA blockbusters are gonna have to like.
Well, I mean, you know what the
Adopt it.
reality of this is, like the real bummer, because like when I was a kid, teenager, whatever, I was like, airplanes should have ads on them so that plane tickets can be cheaper. But then airplanes got ads on them and plane tickets got more expensive. So like the like capitalism,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is not going to benefit
Companies- yeah.
anyone.
Yeah.
It's just going to put
Exactly.
ads in it and
Yeah.
then cost
Yeah.
more anyway.
Totally, it's just gonna happen.
It's just going to happen.
It's just gonna happen.
already happening
Yeah.
and it's going to keep happening.
Now we just get ad blocker in games.
You're right.
Yeah.
You'll have mods that just take
Yeah,
ads
I'm
out.
gonna jailbreak my system to
Dude,
put ad
please
blocker.
never happen. This would suck.
But
this would suck.
because it's so inevitable, it cracks me up the whole terminology around test. We're gonna test this. Like test what? Like you're testing. I'm assuming how angry your consumers are going to get.
Yeah.
But you know they're going to get angry. It's just a question of like, are they gonna riot too much? You know, are they gonna like once we see pitchforks, then we know
But
dial
I
it back a
think
little bit.
Yeah, probably what they're going to look at is, will anyone actually go buy something after this? Because it is a
Sure.
weird thing to think about. Like, there's some levels of advertising that I just like. I don't know. I think it's almost like a mythical or some weird psychological experiment. It's like, yeah, well, we
I
can't.
fall victim to him, blood.
We can't track it, but we know that they are aware of the brand. So eventually, when they need the thing, they'll buy it. Because that's the only you can't like. You're not gonna stop playing your game and then go order a Mountain Dew.
What if your game just
yeah.
what if you're playing Elder Scrolls 6 and it just like it veers off all of a sudden? You're like talking to an NPC and they're just like, but that's why I use Aunt Jemima. And you're like,
Yeah.
wait, what? And then it just now it's back to Elder Scrolls 6. And you're like,
Or
what just
like
what just happened?
commercials. Fade to black. Time for a commercial break inside of your video game.
Yeah, like between
Like,
chapters.
no joke.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's
Well, that's
like
what
you gotta
happens
let
in
the ads-
mobile
you gotta let
games.
the ads roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is what happens in mobile games.
Yeah.
Do you think that they have like?
Please,
'cause
no.
I think we all assume that like these head honcho like business freaks are like super out of touch with it. Like they never expect the vitriol, But do you think that they have people who are like internet rage specialists who are like, if it hits this coefficient, it's not worth doing these ads. But if people only get like
Yes.
40
Yes.
points mad
Yes.
out of 100,
For
you'll
sure,
make money
Isla.
in the long
It
run.
absolutely exists in that because
100%.
it exists in a more serious fashion. This is what like auto
Yeah,
manufacturer
car
auditors
recalls.
do.
I was thinking about that, like Fight Club,
they
yeah.
care about like they're playing with lives and they do cost analysis on that. This is like just straight up money, and it's like, sure, yeah, we don't care. Well, we don't care if they get angry to a certain point. Whoop-de-doo. We're still making money.
Well, there's also the war of just like wearing you down, right? So like
Right.
they've announced it, everyone's upset.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
this
Yep.
developer
Slowly but
pulls
surely.
it, but then when they do it with whoever else, nobody's paying attention.
But why don't they do? Oculus is themselves making VR games. Like, why pick on this one studio and like make them the victim? It's like I'm sure they're having a way tougher time dealing with this
Right.
than Facebook is. Facebook doesn't care,
Well,
from what I
it's
can
like
tell.
somebody's got to be first, right? Like I remember
That's
when
what I've been thinking
COD
about, like that guinea pig. Like, who would want to
Right.
be that?
When
But-
COD dropped the story, everyone was like, "Oh my god!" And now, Battlefield is doing it, and everyone's like, "Yeah, it makes sense."
I think that's just the difference. That's a totally different situation.
I'm just
though.
saying somebody
Yeah.
has to be first with everything.
But I think there is a difference between, again, like Facebook proudly announcing this thing, and everybody in the world knowing about it because they just talked about it and put out a press release about it, versus when they actually do it, the people that are going to know about it are the people that play that game, and so unless they manage to have the same level of reach or get like Kotaku's attention or something like that, then it's just going to go under the radar.
Yeah, and Facebook is like lame. So like, as long as it doesn't come to like Sony, Microsoft, or Nintendo or PC, Steam, I can't. Like, wouldn't that be a whole nother issue with all of this? Like ads in this game, but like it's on Nintendo, so Nintendo wants a piece of those ads. Like that seems like it gets confusing.
It doesn't seem like they'd do that. Nintendo already wants people only to be thinking about their products, their ecosystem
Yeah,
when you're
yeah.
playing it because they know they're competing.
So if like an ad was in a game and the game wanted to
Well,
be on Nintendo, would they like shut it
wouldn't
down?
Want, yeah, they won't want like a Netflix ad in there
Yeah.
because like it's not just other game company
Yeah.
products. They're worrying about anything else that takes away your time from it. I could see this having a hard time taking a hold of something like Nintendo or even Sony to an extent because I think Sony also thinks that way. I mean, I just don't see it really spreading that far on the main systems. But I mean, game as we talked about forever ago, or whatever that market share discussion we had in a previous podcast, the mobile gaming area is way larger than console and
Yeah.
PC.
Right. If this just
So it's
stays
like
in mobile,
if this is going to like
whatever, yeah.
like Facebook gaming, browse
Yeah.
social gaming, mobile gaming, it's
Enjoy
like it's
it.
taking hold there. That's where it needs to be, and
Right.
it's thriving. So it's like, what are you
Well,
gonna do?
Yeah.
You have to keep the perspective of what these businesses do in mind, right? Like Facebook is an advertising company. Like that's essentially what they are, you know. And now they own a VR headset, and so they're going to try to move their advertising into VR.
Yeah, that's
Whereas,
blood,
you know,
yeah.
like Sony and Nintendo, like they're not selling ads to people. That's just not their business.
When it's an interesting Venn diagram, right? Of like, this is like quote unquote hardcore gamer enough that people were like, hey, no, you can't do this thing. Whereas like they've been doing it on phones for a decade, you know? So it's
Yeah.
like, it's just that much crossover that Facebook running this thing made everybody upset, even though like, yeah, in mobile, it's just commonplace.
I do wonder if it's the final frontier, though, because to date, you know, my favorite VR experiences are the most immersive entertainment I've ever experienced in my life. You know, more than like theater I've been in. Like literally just moments where it's like, I can't believe like a team put this, put this journey together that I just went on. So it's just like ads in that. It's like I can't imagine anything. I can't imagine you like stepping in front of me and showing me something I don't want to see in a more intimate,
Yeah.
you know, moment
Absurd.
where I've put a thing on my head to literally block the world out.
Yeah, it's
And
absurd.
it's like, oops, that thing's online. So
You know the funny
whoops.
thing to me though, Jones, is for some reason like I'm less bothered by the ads themselves than the moments when the ads don't work. And then you get whatever that placeholder
Well, same thing with
mess
mobile because
of
they
an
just
image
loop.
is. Yeah.
It's like, I got mad at a mobile game one time because they stopped ads because they used to make money on it because they would be like, hey, hit this button. Or some game I got hooked on. They were like, hit this button, watch an ad a day, and you get more currency. I'd be at my desk cutting the podcast and I'd just be like, sure, I'm watching that ad right
It's
now.
exporting, might as well watch that.
And then they like ran out of inventory
Oh
or
my
something, and I was
God.
like, "What?" And like I went online, and like people were like, "Yeah, I think the company went under." Or
Do
so
you
they don't
remember?
run running ads.
Did you ever do this
no,
back in
ads.
the day? Like it was like 99, 2000. There were like these browser add-ons to where they would put ads on the side of your monitor, and they would literally send you a check, like just for like having the window
goodness.
open on your monitor all day. I
Whoa.
Yeah,
I actually
paid.
got money. I actually got paid by having
God.
ads on my PC.
Wow.
Legit
It was like
ad farming.
maybe $4 or $5 a month at most. But
Okay, okay.
farming ads.
There's some company out there, and like, did you hear they talked about ad farming on the Easy Allies podcast?
Farming.
Get them on the phone. I'm willing to open up a conversation.
People
here.
buying multiple computers. Like there's a computer shortage back then.
You know what else? You know, what I think sucks the most about this whole situation. The Oculus Quest 2 rules,
Right.
and it's just keeps getting better and better. Like it's like no, not that. Put it on some device that's bad. No, like Google Stadia was pulling this and be like whatever, you know, but no, makes me mad. We'll see. Yeah, probably not something. We'll see when their next test is. I'll give you the update on that. Also this week, Cyberpunk 2077 is available on the PlayStation Store again. Yay!
Still cooking. I'm waiting. Still
Sony
waiting.
warned it's like not good. Like Sony like made a statement. They were like, you know, it passes our, you know, terms to be on the store, but it's not. I wouldn't buy it.
I like it
It's not
'cause
exactly what they said.
I didn't see
For
that.
I hope
me-
that's what it did, but I wouldn't buy it. Signed so
They basically said it, you know, buy at your own risk.
For me, I'm just waiting, but like without waiting. Do you know what I mean? Like one day, hopefully, the game will be good, and then I'll play it. And if that never happens, then it just never happens.
Right.
You move on.
Microsoft will stop refunds next month. So if you want to get more money from Microsoft on that Cyberpunk, do it now. Sonic had a 30th anniversary concert that made a lot of Sonic fans very emotional. My Twitter was the Sonic 30th anniversary concert. I literally just scrolled like almost every single tweet I could find. It was like, I can't even, like, throwing out names of levels and characters I didn't recognize. It's a big deal. Avengers had a new boss fight that Huber and I checked out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they also leaked some people's IP addresses on screen for a little while. So that was bad.
Yeah.
At least that was resolved very quickly. That was like a day.
That's a silver lining there,
That
Huber. I
is.
appreciate you for
Well, because what was the last thing?
I can't think.
There was
I
something-
can't think of a worse thing to go wrong with your game.
Yeah.
Other than
that
it's
is-
like
you
other
can
than
put,
credit card
like-
information,
yeah.
that's more of a company's. Like games don't do that.
Yeah.
You know, that's more of like
I'm
EA
not-
does
Some
that.
games do.
It's unacceptable. I'm not excusing it, but I was impressed with how quickly it was resolved. It was like less than 24
It
hours.
had to be that quick,
Yeah,
though. That was,
yeah.
It's too big of a disaster.
Wow.
I saw many PR people say this is the worst thing I've ever seen. they're like, I can't think of a bug in my lifetime I've seen that is more obviously harmful to.
Should pull that
Many
emergency
people.
maintenance switch and take it down immediately.
It's a good thing I'm not.
Like,
fan of that
I just think if Outriders had login issues, you would just get stuck on login,
Right.
and they didn't resolve that for like days, bordering like 2 weeks. It was like over a week,
Yeah.
and you just like kept like having to force it out. People had to like delete the game, uninstall it. So
Doug Bowser quietly confirmed more updates are coming to Animal Crossing New Horizons. It's interesting. A lot of people were upset it wasn't at E3. I was not expecting that much.
I think
more to
it's just
come,
because
like they
it's
might do their own
such
direct,
a
but
gigantic
yeah, at E3.
Do
sales
you
number
all-
that
do you all still check in with your Animal Crossing still?
I haven't as much.
It's been months. I'm terrified.
Yeah.
It's not. They're all very kind. Well, I don't know who you. put
Yeah,
your
the main thing my wife has been checking for the art dealer to try to fill up the museum there.
red, yeah.
I have like 2 of those. Developers at Double Fine are claiming that Psychonauts 2 has had no crunch. So,
Sweet.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's becoming
Good to hear,
more
yeah.
common, dude. That's 2 in a row now. Let's
I'm
go.
all about first parties competing over who can crunch less.
Yes, it's good.
Yeah, for real.
It'll be turning it around. A Final Fantasy IX animated series is in development. You know where it's in development. That's scheduled for the end of 2021 or the beginning of 2022.
Netflix?
Netflix.
Smart.
Lock it in.
I feel like they just looked at so many franchises and were like, anime.
Right.
Let's hit all these.
Yeah.
Smart. Super smart.
An alleged Bloodborne successor called Velvet Veil was leaked, but later disputed. So don't look too far into that. Anything you want to add, Isla, to that?
I don't believe anything.
Right.
Yeah.
The original Left 4 Dead actors are in Zombie Army 4 DLC as the same characters, the whole
Yeah.
cast.
Oh, fun.
That's cool.
So sweet.
Twitch hit another record in May, 2.2 billion hours watched, according to Stream Elements and Rainmaker. Most ever.
Wouldn't that just constantly be going up forever now?
I get. Well, yeah. I mean, no, for 1 month.
Oh.
Yeah. But that's the main number, so it'll be interesting what June looks like.
True. And I think that's like the 4th time this year that they've broken a record. So it is kind of going up. GameStop sold more of their stock, a quote second equity offering, and made $1.13 billion.
Get paid.
That's one way to get paid, not the way GameStop has been usually getting paid. PAX West will be an in-person event this September. Party! Who's coming? Who's
Except
coming with me?
It won't require
Seattle.
vaccination.
Yeah, wait. Did you not hear,
In
Jones?
September? What? Huh?
No vaccinations required.
You got the
Right.
So I'm hard out of that.
I'll
I'm not going.
go in a hamster ball or something.
Yeah.
I'll wear trash bags, man.
Yeah, I don't know what they're thinking. That's weird. Super
It
weird.
sounds like they might be changing or updating. Who knows?
Got it.
Their-
that would be the
that
smart
page where they had the
thing to
info
do.
was like was taken down for a little bit today, so I don't know if that's just a technical thing or if they're changing it or what.
Floor number 2, the red beanbag in the corner. I'll be there with my Switch, ready to snuggle. Let's do it. No, but I really want to go back to PAX West. I don't know. I'm going to have a conflict in my head about that one.
Yeah, we'll see what
It's
they
like
say about that.
September, so that's interesting.
Yeah, it's a little ways
too
away.
crazy.
Minecraft got Sonic the Hedgehog DLC.
Yeah.
Space Jam 2 is getting a beat 'em up
I
tie-in.
saw this and it looked pretty. Yeah, I'm in. I'll try it.
I know I'm asking the wrong person or the right person, but is a beat 'em up the best kind of cheap tie-in? Because you
think
can play
so.
a beat 'em up that's like 20 minutes long, but if it's like free or something, if it like
Even,
came with like a Burger King meal or whatever,
Even
you're like,
Final
"Ah."
Fantasy 15 had a tie-in beat 'em up where you were like the
The
king
Yakuza
and
one looked
stuff.
amazing, and I heard it was really short, but it was still
Streets
right.
of Kamurocho was like just one level. It was more of like a demo type thing. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's the best way to do it. I love it. I'm always in.
I don't know. A good old-fashioned Doom engine tie-in too.
Yeah.
An Aliens Fire Team, now called Aliens Fire Team Elite.
I don't like that name. I liked. I
don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why they added Elite.
I didn't catch that. That went right over my
Yeah, I
head.
don't know
The
why they
Elite
did
got
that.
added.
Yeah.
Will launch on PC and consoles on August 24th, 2021.
Heck
Huber and
yeah.
I will be playing it.
So pumped. I'm
Let's
ready to
play a
swim.
game. Woo! Let's play a game. Feeling it?
Feeling it.
You know the games that we play here.
I love games.
Easy Hours Podcast. Woo! These used to be a part of Love and Respect. If we do a game, I'm going to take them out of Love and Respect. We're just going to do them on their own. So let's play a game. This is from Cody Spencer. You can. Yeah, thanks. Next Isla, sorry. Cody Spencer, I'm enjoying watching all of your E3 coverage and reactions from Jones picking out the Pirate's Life for Me song to Brad saying, where we dropping Link when Link was falling out of the sky. But the best had to be you all painfully watching the Gearbox conference. So I thought that in quote unquote honor of Randy Pitchford, I would make a game. Who said it? Randy Pitchford or Harrison Ford? Are we ready?
Okay.
A random one for one there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will be tracking your scores from
Nice.
now on Easy Allies games, including you, Isla. You ready?
Yes.
Was this Randy Pitchford or Harrison Ford? Number one, you may get real tired of watching me, but I'm never going to quit.
Harrison
Ford.
Ford.
Seems like Harrison Ford.
Yeah, Harrison Ford.
You're all right.
7 days, 6 nights, or whatever.
6
You
days,
know
7
the
nights.
press junket?
No.
Okay, I don't think this is from
And
movies.
hate
I think
it.
these are
Okay,
actual
never
quotes.
I saw that movie with my brother and my grandma.
There is always the person who's got to stand on the sandcastle. They must crush it.
Randy Pitchford.
Pitchford.
We're all doing very well.
Okay.
This game may be too easy. Number three, of course, the idea that a robot can have a sexual identity is kind of an absurd one.
Harrison Ford.
Pitchford.
Harrison Ford.
What'd you say, Blade?
Harrison Ford.
Only Isla got that one. That was Randy Pitchford.
Ah.
As a creative, as an artist, I'm just excited when people want my stuff and want to experience it.
Randy
Pitchford.
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 Indeed.
As a creative, as an artist.
I don't think Harrison Ford refers to himself as an
No.
artist.
He's too stoned to refer to
It's
himself.
very little trouble for me to accommodate my fans, unless I'm taking a pee at the time.
Harrison Ford?
Harrison Ford.
Joke?
Yeah, Harrison
Joke.
Ford.
'Twas. All right. When I'm in line at the grocery store, I might pick up one of those tabloids. I might not even buy it. I'm just going to sit there and read the headlines and chuckle at how stupid that stuff is, even though I'm reading it anyway.
Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Do you like my Harrison Ford voice? Because y'all got it wrong. Randy Pitchford.
Ah.
I've always
Whoa.
wanted to ride a sail barge or drive a sand skiff.
God, that could be either one. Pitchford.
Yeah, I'll go
Pitchford.
Pitchford.
That was Pitchford.
Yeah, misdirection.
Yeah, that's too much.
I've never wanted to be the boss.
Pitchford.
Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford.
Pitchford.
That was Harrison Ford. Damn.
Damn.
Huber got that one.
Pitchford very much wants to be the boss.
I was
Yeah.
going to say, come on.
Yep.
I could take Sean Connery in a fight. I would definitely take him.
Harrison Ford?
Oh, this seems like misdirection. I'll go with
Why
Randy
would
Pitchford.
Pitchford be talking about Connery?
I'll go with Randy Pitchford. This is for fun.
Harrison Ford.
Even though that sounds like a quote probably from Last Crusade.
Would you say,
press
Blake?
junket.
Harrison Ford.
That was Ford. I would love to see the quote being aggressive there. Yeah, everybody got that, but and finally, knock, knock, knock. Kevin, you have a minute?
Harrison Ford.
Pitchford.
Just going with Harrison Ford. Just
Pitchford.
Correct. All right. Looks like Isla won that one. I think Isla and I think everybody won that except Damiani.
Good.
Well done. It is time for Love and Respect.
Love and respect.
Bye, Rufus.
Yeah. The Facebook ads was too much. Oh, it's too much.
Dude, Rufus is hurt.
Rufus will return. From Alexander Zarianov, really quick. Last week there was Steam Next Fest. I played more than 600 demos. I want to highlight 4 games.
Wow.
Death Trap Dungeon, The Golden Room, is a fantasy FMV game with great production values. A fantasy FMV game with great production values.
That's
You don't hear
hard
that
to
often.
say.
600 demos?
That's a lot of demos. That's a lot of downloading. That's a lot of playing.
They're 1 hour each. That's 600 hours. Holy crap.
Don't Touch This Button is a puzzle game where every clue is a lie. White Shadows is a 2D platformer with Limbo and Little Nightmare vibes. And finally, Polycore Defense is a tower defense game that is surprisingly addictive.
I love addicting tower defense games.
There we go. So do I. Death Trap Dungeon, The Golden Room, Don't Touch This Button, White Shadows, and Polycore Defense.
I feel like Death Trap Dungeon. Is that a
it.
sequel? The Golden Room? Is that a sequel to the? Is there a Death Trap? The Death Trap Dungeon sounds so familiar.
Sure.
Maybe I just made it up. I don't know.
We did play the Death Trash demo on Xbox.
Death Trap Dungeon comes up with a PlayStation logo. I'm looking into it. Hang on.
Sounds so
Yeah,
familiar.
1998. Death Trap Dungeon.
Boom.
IDOS.
Wow.
Asylum.
Love IDOS.
What the hell?
This demo is not that.
Yeah.
From Platinum Declan, what's the next popular thing from Japan that isn't popular in the West to hit it big? It's hard to imagine, but just a little over 4 years ago, Monster Hunter, Yakuza, Dragon Quest, they weren't the massive hits they are now outside of Japan. Same applies to Fire Emblem if we go back a bit further. Sure, they had a decent, dedicated fan base, but until some of their latest titles, they were not mainstream big. I'm glad this has been rectified, but what, if anything, is next? What is massive in Japan that what the West hasn't latched onto? The Tales of series immediately springs to mind. It seems to be picking up steam rather quickly and could strike gold with its latest entry. Any other candidates stand out?
I think a Tales game sold more out in the West than it did in Japan.
Yeah, I
for
feel like
one
it's
of
bigger in
them.
the West because of
And also,
Vesperia
Tales
and
isn't.
Symphonia.
Tales is like nowhere near the level of those other series. Like it has fans, but I think Vesperia and Exilia were like the 2 best-selling ones, and they were just like,
Cross Ilia.
yeah, it's not Crossilia.
Exilia.
I think like Somi Somi or like new ice cream trends. stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Yeah, like I'm trying to think of more than just like gaming, unless it just mean gaming.
I
Yeah,
think they
just
do-
gaming
I think they do
franchise.
gaming, Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. What's
I think everything's gonna be bigger and selling more. That's just the era we live in. Games are easier to get.
Oh,
you know,
well-
every franchise keeps like outselling. Oh, biggest entry in the franchise, biggest entry in the franchise. Like that's just so common now. So many more gamers, so many more ways to get games.
kind of already has happened with Persona, but it's OG series SMT. Shin
Oh,
Megami
yeah.
Tensei. I
Yeah,
think
SMT,
5 might
SMT,
be
yeah.
its breakout.
For sure.
And it
See,
might
that-
become
I was
mainstream.
I thought because of Persona 5 though and 4, I was like equating them as the same one.
Yeah,
But Shin Megami Tensei
SMT has not
specifically,
had the success
Right.
in
sure.
the West it has had
sure.
it with as Persona has had. So
Good call.
That's kind of more what I'm looking for, Huber. You know, actual suggestions, not just kind of general
Sorry.
statements about. Yeah, games are popular. It's
We
cool.
were both like, we were both
you're just trying to think of the
Stuck.
title.
Yeah.
I filled in the gap there for you. Don't worry, you got it covered.
I wish
Ace Attorney.
I
Is it
would.
time?
I'll
don't
tell you
think
what
that'll be-
didn't. I'll tell you what didn't blow up that I wanted it to was Onimusha when it came back with that remaster.
Onimusha.
That's so depressing.
Yeah.
That's one of the most depressing things. We still never got 2 and 3 and 4 remastered. They only gave us the first one.
I would hop over 2 and go straight to 3 if you haven't of anything.
Dude, 2's
you only
so
have one more
sick.
shot. I'm not saying it's not good. I'm just
Jubei.
saying 3, baby.
Yeah.
You can only do one. Between 2 and 3, I would definitely take 3.
What genre now?
They've been trying hard with the Muso
Motorcycle.
games, with Persona Strikers and Hyrule Warriors. You know,
Yeah.
those have steadily, like, I mean, I think Age of Calamity was like their best-selling entry in the series or of the genre, I think.
Because they
So-
haven't reached over and grabbed some random Western franchise to maybe
That's
try to-
what it would take is just
Yeah,
having
I
that
wonder-
that one crossover will be the one where I was like, whoa, what was this? There's a ton of backlog of these. Whoa, this is
What
awesome.
What if nobody really likes those games, but they like the franchises enough that they play them, and so like that's the bond. You know, like they make a Star Wars one, and then Star Wars fans play it, but they're like, I thought it was kind of boring, and then like the Zelda fans
Hey.
were like, I thought the Zelda one was boring too, and then
That's what the president of
Become
Koei
friends.
President of Koei Tecmo wants the next crossover to be either be Mario or Star Wars.
Star
That's
Wars
their dream.
makes so
Yeah.
much crazy sense.
Star Wars Muso? Yeah, that's
Star Wars
perfect.
Muso.
Dude, R2D2 and a Muso just like electrocuting everybody, that would be amazing.
AoE just big blasts R2D2. Just like
Playing
"Gah!"
his Jabba the Hutt finally around.
slithering around.
From Rahul Masal, update. Last January, I asked you all for PlayStation exclusive recommendations.
That
oh my
is
goodness,
some
a
bass.
UFO.
That is some
Holy
bass.
crap!
That's a truck, right? That's not.
That was a truck or base just
That's-
driving past.
I think
bass.
I think there's a base outside.
Shook the whole place.
That is hardcore bass.
Born and raised in California, so there is that 0.5 second of like earthquake every single time. Like every time any kind of a rumble, and we get some big trucks that drive by, by
Do
this
we hide
building.
under this desk or no? For
I
real.
don't think we need to really worry about it too much.
Yeah, you don't. That's the thing. It's tangent. You don't do a lot because they say they're like people get so caught up in like doorways that like when an earthquake happens, the first thing they do is just start running somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's like the ground's moving, so you probably don't want to run. So like.
Okay.
Generally the safest thing you can do. It's nice to throw out some safety advice.
Yeah,
on these last
honestly, I'm
podcasts.
genuinely curious.
Is see if you can get under something, but just don't. Don't
there,
go.
the desk would
don't
be
whatever you do.
good.
Don't do it fast.
Got
Because
it, got
it's
it.
like
Okay,
you
good to
will-
know.
Most of the injuries happen.
Use
that
your
way, where somebody's
levitation
like
ability.
they're heading for the front door and then they fly out of a window.
Got it.
Think in triangles,
Think in triangles, definitely.
so that something will fall onto something next to you, so you don't get crushed.
Smart.
From Rahul Masal. Last January, I asked you all for PlayStation exclusive recommendations since I'd just gotten my first ever Sony console. Based on that, these last 6 months, I've finished Spider-Man, God of War, Ghost of Tsushima, Persona, I'm assuming 5, Final Fantasy 7, and Shadow of the Colossus. I'm sorry, Isla, I haven't touched Bloodborne. And since I've exhausted the Allies' recommendations from last time, I thought I'd ask again. The PS5 is my first Sony console ever. What game should I try next?
Last of
Bloodborne first. You can't.
Us.
There's no. I don't.
Bloodborne, Demon
What do you-
Souls.
Yeah.
Bloodborne and Demon Souls and Last of Us.
Gravity
Last of Us for sure.
Rush.
Part 1
Bloodborne's
and 2.
better than all those.
Can you imagine?
Uncharted 4 as well, I didn't hear. In the collection, because you can get the
Right.
PS4
Yeah.
remaster.
Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, dude.
Ratchet
I
and
played the
Clank.
first hour and it was delightful.
Can you imagine having not played Last of Us 1 or 2 and you play both of those at the same time?
Be wild.
You imagine by the end
It's
of
a
that,
lot.
just be
It's
like,
a lot. It's draining. It's a lot.
Jeez.
Maybe play the first one and then
Yeah.
go hug a loved one and then maybe think about playing the next one.
Haven't they not played Astro's Playroom? That's
Astro's
they must have.
Playroom, yeah.
Yeah.
but
For sure.
But you're doing pretty good. But you did Bloodborne.
Yeah. Bloodborne, Uncharted.
I think you say like,
Did
yeah, I
they
didn't touch
say
Bloodborne. I've
Horizon?
exhausted
Have they
the
done
Allies'
Horizon
recommendation.
yet?
Horizon.
Horizon.
Sure. Especially because, and I passed on, Jess Verdi was here doing Fast and Loose, and I passed on because she's like, oh, I just started playing it. I said, get Frozen Wilds, because it's not like after the end.
Yeah, it's like in
in
it.
the game. So,
right.
Yeah.
if you buy that big deluxe edition, that's
Yeah,
only
it's-
one DLC, and it was
It's a complete.
Cool.
I keep forgetting what the new version is
It
called.
was
but
literally
yeah.
like a cliff you couldn't climb that now you can. So, but it's all in there.
Dope.
From Corrigal, translation, please. Mass Effect Legendary Edition's project manager, Mac Walters, said that I, quote, would never say no to that, meaning multiplayer. We want to see what kind of reception the Legendary Edition gets and what the demand for the multiplayer is, and then we'll ask ourselves if we have the resources and time to bring it up to the quality level we and fans want. First of all, how do they judge the reception? Do they bring multiplayer if Legendary is a hit or not because they sold enough without it? Or do they bring multiplayer if Legendary bombs in hopes of drawing more in, or do they cut their losses? Second to this, what does demand for multiplayer mean? How do we demand that? How do we best communicate that to EA or any other demand for specific content from a developer / publisher? Go on official forums, social media, which I don't have anymore? Do I vote with my wallet? Say I'm not buying this without multiplayer?
I'm thinking about this a lot in terms of shows getting canceled versus renewed. And it's just like, I feel like they're watching social media. They're just watching. They have like the tech to watch interest and see how many people are talking about it. If it's like tracking on social media, like there are jobs dedicated to just like listening to the noise of the internet and like seeing what is trending and whatnot. So part of the Mass Effect thing though, because I actually read that interview and all that stuff, it was just about getting the trilogy right first and foremost, which I love. I love that idea. They just brought out a patch recently, just like focusing on getting that good, getting that right, not worrying about the multiplayer. And then I'm sure like if things are going well and people are talking about it here and there, then maybe they'll reevaluate.
It's just such a funny thing because sort of like what they're saying is now that it's out, I feel like that multiplayer question is like, like who is actually talking about it? All people are talking about is just reliving these moments and going back through this game or experiencing it the first time or whatever it might be. You know, and you keep seeing like the people that joke about it, like, I was like, you're gonna make different choices this time, right? It's like, nope.
Yeah.
Do what I remember doing.
I think the best case scenario for me, because I'm going through right now, I know you're Jones, you're going through it. I think waiting a little while, or like whenever if it happens, letting people finish the trilogy, and then you have like another reason to go back in, get excited, but just giving people
But
the
they're
time.
not gonna do that. That's the thing. It's so strange because they're clearly not working on it.
Yeah.
So what if they do this? It's gonna come out next year. Like
Yeah,
what? It's so
shit.
Well, it's
strange.
How
gonna be
long would it
forever
take?
until the next Mass Effect. So why not? You know,
Yeah.
Maybe.
it's gonna be like that Super
It's-
Mario
it's
Party
such a-
update.
such
like,
a weird
oh,
thing.
Could they do a standalone free thing or something? If
I think if anything they would add it in as
Just
a free
add
DLC. Yeah.
if you own the
Mm-hmm.
and then you can repackage it and resell it. You know, months down the line. Now with multiplayer, free.
What are the odds of Mass Effect 5 or whatever they end up calling it getting multiplayer? Do you think that might be a thing where they're like, well, we're already kind of building this fun multiplayer thing from the ground up? So like
That's the funny
two
thing
is-
because I feel like
I think so.
if that was happening, then this wouldn't even be a question. Like
Sure.
you would have a lot of that stuff, being built already. So like, yeah, might as well like use the new stuff, kind of like what did with Mario Party. They're making a new Mario Party. Yeah, throw some more online multiplayer into the previous Mario Party.
God, Blood, I remember I was addicted to the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer for like 2 weeks. Hardcore, 24/7, and then never played again. It's just like, whoa.
Yeah,
Just
I
at
know.
that point in my life, dude, I just like got addicted to it and then just never played it, never thought about it again. It's just so weird.
I know
when
people that
happens.
hated it from the first second they played it. I know people that never played it because they hated the idea of Mass Effect multiplayer. The hashtagonist, like Dragon's Dogma 2 is the only thing the hashtagonist talks about more than Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. But I remember when it came out, he was like, when they announced Legendary Edition, he's like, yeah, I'm not keeping my hopes up. That I thought it was cool. I thought it was neat. It was one of my favorite things about the whole series. But
It would be cool. It would be cool because it is my favorite thing about remasters and stuff is revisiting these games, and like it existed. That multiplayer was a part of this legacy. So it is kind of a bummer that it's omitted.
It's such a hard thing to try to bring back, though.
Yeah.
Like multiplayer
And
is
upkeep, right?
well, yeah, but
Yeah.
it's the thing. It's like multiplayer isn't just the game unless it's local. It's like you're getting this whole time and
Yeah.
space of everybody being involved in this, and so trying to recapture the magic, I don't know how well it can work because you either are going to do the thing exactly the way it was and it feels dated, or you start tweaking it to try to modernize it and everyone hates what you did.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how you win with that.
Yeah. That's sticky. Hey, at least we got that Legendary Edition and all. It's really nice remaster.
I'm enjoying it.
Really nice.
I'm having a lot of fun.
Nice.
Time for bets. Next week's bet. Mario Golf Super Rush launches like now. After we record this podcast. Next week, blindfolded. I, Brandon Jones, as Mario, will make a shot from the first hole of the first course. How far will it go? I have not played Mario Golf Super Rush. Nintendo. The first Mario shot in the Nintendo Treehouse presentation went 229 yards. First shot she did in the Nintendo presentation, she did it as Mario. That is how far it went. It was a pretty good shot, too. So I think that's like near the top of his range. Michael Hubert, what's your bet?
0. Think you're going to whiff.
I'm going to botch it?
Yeah.
Oh,
You're blindfolded, dude. That's tough. It's a tough shot.
that is a tough shot.
Yeah,
I don't know how tough it is.
I was
I've
thinking
not-
about
I've not
that,
played
but
this
I'm
game.
also I don't know enough about the game. I think it might have a thing where you can't do that anymore. So I guess
that'd
it's
be a
gonna
bummer.
it's gonna go a distance. But also before I realized this, I was thinking maybe there's a trick where you could like 'cause it doesn't matter if it goes out of bounds. It has to go. It's just the distance initially. It doesn't matter if the shot doesn't. It's a penalty stroke. Tin cup. Roy, I bet I could hit you the challenge. It's
Drop.
like it said the shot has to be blindfolded, but you could line it up before you take the shot, right?
Correct. All I'm doing is
So you
tapping.
can
It's
aim
a
somewhere.
Oh my
So
gosh.
it could be really far, but I wasn't.
timing
I didn't
thing.
go that crazy. I
I
just
don't,
said
well, I don't know what the first hill
Okay.
is.
120
Okay.
yards.
120,
120
okay,
yards.
all right.
I just
Isla?
went- I went.
I also thought you were gonna whiff, and I said 0.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
And I
Appreciate
wanted
that.
the
Thanks for
low.
backup.
I wanted the low.
Yeah,
Right.
It's easy to whiff. Like I've played so much Hot Shots Golf, Jones. It's just like boom, boom, whiff. Very easy. Very easy to whiff.
Blood, what's your
No disrespect to your skills.
I thought I was going to be kind of low, but yeah, 88. I
88?
feel like, not knowing
88,
exactly
that's
how
a
this
88 miles per hour.
That's a nod. Yes.
88 miles per hour.
I feel like it won't be necessarily a whiff, but like you'll wait too long.
Sure.
Like I feel like the meter will go up and
Sure.
it'll come back the wrong way, and then then you'll just shoot short.
I'm confident, not 200 plus confident, 199. I just came just below. But
Betting
how
on
could I not?
yourself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Confidence. But again,
Yo, how sketchy would it be if he bet
Sketch.
0
Yeah.
and then shanked it?
Oh,
oh, I could
yeah,
have.
you can't really.
But I
use-
didn't I? Wow, look
No.
at that. You can trust
Man
me.
of honor.
What do they call it in Tin Cup? Chili peppers.
Chili
That was the
peppers.
name for shanking it. It's like, I have no idea what that is.
Chili peppers.
Don't know why they call it that.
Okay. This week's bet.
Oh, I love Tin Cup.
Phantom Abyss launched last Tuesday, June 22nd. Right now, I'm going to go to the top viewed stream on Twitch. How long until I see the player die of Phantom Abyss? Note, if I get an ad, I'm starting the timer after the ad. I did a test before and then played a 30-second pre-roll, and I was like, oh, I forgot about this.
Thanks, Facebook.
And Brad Ellis bet 2 minutes. Ben Moore bet 4 minutes, 30 seconds. Isla Hink bet 1 minute, 7 seconds. Bloodworth bet 13 seconds. I also mirrored Brad with 2 minutes. So I will play this for 3 minutes. Yes, I'm recording on my laptop.
Oh,
So I
okay.
got this right here. I mean, you can watch him at the same time if you want. But I'm going to bring up OBS and everything. Actually record this. So if we get to 3 minutes and 16 seconds.
He just restarted. What does that mean?
I don't know. Technically, I've not watched it yet. I've not started watching it yet. When if Ben gets to 3 minutes and 16 seconds, he immediately wins.
We're watching Banwa.
Yes. Hit record.
So looking for a death.
Get my timer out.
Start. Boom.
Here he goes.
Good. Okay.
Yep, got an ad.
Is this game out or
Oh,
is it
we gotta
early
wait.
access right now?
Yep.
This is early access.
Nice.
That it's out, so we don't know when the final release date is.
Very pumped.
But
Very
it was
excited.
like earlier this week, Tuesday. Came out in early access.
It looks so fun.
Yeah, I'm kind of into it.
I'm super into it.
Still ad going?
Still an ad going. Defy
Oh, yeah.
logic. Thank you. Thank you, Twitch. Cool.
Blame Facebook.
There we go. This streamer was streaming when I was testing the podcast before we started, so he's been at this for a while.
He's a pro.
Yeah, he's a pro.
Yeah.
This
He's
week
an
we
actual
could
He's
get-
got
pro.
like timers and stuff.
could
Yeah,
be- yeah,
he's
we could be in
like
trouble.
actual speed runner.
So wait,
and-
his last run ended with a restart, though. Would we count that?
Oh!
Ooh.
Recovery.
But would we count a
The
restart?
whip thing is so crazy.
No, this guy's.
Professional. I love this.
Oh.
So he's a
Yeah,
little
you
behind.
didn't even consider
It's
load
like room
screens.
2 now. Room 2.
Wow, I'm watching
Load
it totally.
screens
I'm way
count.
behind you all, I think.
Yeah, we're on room 2.
Whew.
Oh, yours is behind us?
Yeah. You're 10 seconds ahead of me, according to his clock.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Oh,
just
Ooh.
like that. Get ready, Jones.
Okay.
Get ready.
Oh, yeah. And
Get ready. Boom.
the blade.
Dead.
114.49.
Didn't Brett say like 115 or something?
Hold on a second.
I think I said 112, maybe. Oh, I said 107.
Lot of
Jeez,
moving-
that death came suddenly.
A lot of moving parts here.
Just a big blade.
Yeah, that's 1 minute 7 seconds.
Oh!
Woo!
I
Nice.
don't know how that works because we can't just throw their thing in this podcast. I mean,
Another person stream?
yeah, that seems weird.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Just put it tiny. It's like a reaction stream.
Okay.
Shout out.
It's only a minute of it. Should be fine.
Bringing our scores to Jovial Penguins 15.
Gentlemen, start your screaming.
Yes.
Vociferous Beavers 12.
Nom, 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 nom.
Shout out. What was the streamer's name? Just to
BONJWA, I think.
yeah, Bonjour. Shout out.
Looked like
Super shout
looked
out.
like it was German. I don't know.
Awesome.
Let me tell you about patreon.com/easyallies. That is where you want to go if you want to support us financially. And gosh darn it, we would sure appreciate it. Again, we've gotten past all of the getting back into the studio nonsense, all of the E3 nonsense. We had a big 6-hour stream that you can go check out where we did to celebrate getting back in the studio. We are ecstatic to get back to the normal daily grind of producing fun content for our channel and fun video game coverage for you to enjoy. You can just listen to this podcast for $5. You can get the podcast a couple days early. But if you'd just like to go to patreon.com/easyallies just to learn more about us, that would be wonderful too. This is the last time in the month of June I will be reading this specific list of shout-outs. These are a bunch of people on Patreon. This is our very tip-top tier on patreon.com/easyallies. The following people are about to get a shout-out. We're all ready because I can just roll right into this now. And I will try not to say that next week. It just makes me so happy that I don't have to set it up. Shout out to Blue, Caleb Togi Crawford, Edsger, So I'm a Spider, So What, El Fanis, Esdocal, Greg the Dark Knight Kettering, Jesse Blue, and Nick. Shout out.
Shout out.
Isla, you get to promote any Easy Allies video you'd like to promote. You get the final word on anything you've disagreed with, want to reiterate, or just popped into your head, and you get to sign off with your trademark sign-off, because you won.
Haha. Jeez. What's a good video to promote? Well, the betting special results, they're going to shoot those later tonight. So hopefully they'll go up soon, and hopefully I won, but I don't think I did. So watch those.
Yeah, I was having to assist Don and like try to identify shadow drops. It's really tricky this year.
Yeah, really bizarre stuff going on. So yeah, check that out. Didn't really disagree with anything. Just like, I don't know, have a good weekend, everyone. Good night and good game.
Survival.
Sequel.
Sizometrical.
Sensual.
Sociopolitical would be hilarious.
The Easy Allies would like to thank our Patreon podcast producers. We apologize in advance for all the ally names we are about to misspell and mispronounce. Blue, Caleb Togi Crawford, Edsger So I'm a Spider, So What, El Fanis, Esdocal, Greg the Dark Knight Kettering, Jesse Blue, Nick, Walker Hope, Will Schmuck, Alex AI, Alexander Zirianov, Alexander Reyes, Ali Cat, Beaten Down Brian, Bradley Speeds, Dave Red, Discarded Digit, Douglas Chomich, Freya Lawson, Hayden Hargraves, Happy Gaming, Jay Shee, Jose Gutierrez, Miguel Rivas, Nicholas Johnson, Paulo Costabel, Richard G. Flowers, Rob Bob Will, Robert Stoffel, Roy Sung, Sage Mode Q, Samsa Stormbaum, Sigma, Chom Nguyen, Valmar, Yasser Kerbushi, Aurelian Grenier, Brad Grenz, Brian Kruger, Charles Anthony Iapicino, Culinary Stud, Dale Sun, Gary James, G. Levin, James Vitt, John Tyson, Jesper Popmel Dufay, John Burns, Jordan Kirk, Kroldemort, Lath, Luke Bennett, Mango, Marcel Markov, Mark J. Betters II, Matthew Holcomb, Matthew Pauling, Nathan Watkins, Oni Blackmage, Pete Shoemaker, Robert Crouch, Ryan Anderson, Sam Handrick, S-Snake24, Stepan Hakobian, Stephen Thomason, The Banana Forklift Killer, Todd Yurkovic, Rack, Zachary Wingate. 44 stars, Accounts Payable, Adam Henry, Adam Sharonbrock, Ahab, Ahmed Al-Rashed, Alex Glass, Alex Monaco, Alexander Irving, Allison Burt, Andreas Risberg, Andri, Andy Marks, Anthony Galvin, Austin, Barry, Beastmaster64, Bjarnar Haraldsvik, Blake Bonsack, Bonnie and Jason Connor, Brandon White, Breadroll Art, Brian Foster, Briscoe Davis, Brittany Fuller, Bunny Chen, C.S. Lewis, Katie Garza, Chase Caldwell, Candy Coated Thorns, Chief Uhu, Chris the Pianist, Christian Simniak, Christian Hundorf, Christoph Fatui, Christopher Santis, Clay Roberts, Cody Westley, Colin Hoylman, Corey Jackson, Corey Landega, Crediar, Cyberboa, Dakota Hayes, Damnable Nook, Dan Sebring, Daniel Fuchs, Daniel Wong, DanPan16, David Wilson, David Boyarski, Delisi, Dimitri Zetas, Don Turner, DRD 714, Edison S. Prada Jr., Eric Maynard, Eric Tobias, Eric Gustafson, Espen Gotchman, Ethan Satz, Ethereal Ether, Faraz Rizvi, Fishflop, Forrest, From the Void, Gabriel Aberg, Glenn Olson, Gustav Strombohm, Hadi Ali, Haley Hill, Harrison Holt McHale, Helen Y, Hitman 47, Isun Chor, Ian Anderson, Ibrahim Sozer, Isaac Swanson, Jay Aldiar, James Davey, Jameson Lapine, Jana, Jason I, JC3, Jeffrey Ruchtenwald, Jeremy Ferris, Jesse Fish, Jesse Wilkeson, Jethrin, Joe Frantic, Joel Short, Joey Din, John Gallagher, Jojo Dentko, Jonathan and Amy Alconis, Jordan Phillips, Joshua Vanswall, Jose Carlos Madrigal, Julius Garcia, Junya Motomura, Justin Payne, Carl Williams, Kevin Gillet, Lars Berger, Lee Young, Leon Keys, Lindsay Wells, Linson Wu, Liam Ahern, Luis Ibarra, Lion Crown 19, Mikey Moe, Malcolm Mochette, Malianware, Manuel Thomas, Marcel Giru 17 Froelich, Marco Hernandez, Materia Addict, Matthias Clare, Matt Ferguson, Matt Karwoski, Matthew Holmes, Matthew T. Ryan, Maverick Lee Back, Mazrim Tain, Megadet, Megan McDonough, Michael Bisegli, Michael Clendenan, Michael Kozachenko, Michael Pliskin, Michelle Nubb, Miguel, Mikhail Aniel, Mike Calvin, Mike Hook 1, Mikey Mizek Novak, Misuki 211, Mither Strongbeard, Mo Grant, Monica, Morpheus, Mr. Anarchy, Nefertiti Jenkins, Neil Bruce, Nycrypt, Noah Weinstein, Ulf himself, Orugachino, Pablo Rodriguez, Patrick Imbush, Paul Nolson, Paul Sway, Philip Higdon, Quinn Riley, Raphael David Aquilino Baki, Raymond Lee, Reed Johnson, Richard Goodwin, Ritz 1906, Rob Hudock, Draft Punk, Robert I, Roy Eschke, Russell Bateman, Ryan Wagner, Ryan Curtin, Sabine T, Sam Sorensen, Samuel Copeland, Sean Cornett, Sebastian Trier, Silent Consonant, Sneaky Gato, Spencer Stevens, Splontot, Stefan Hines, Stone Cold Steve Carson, Strikeout NZ, Super 3D Cow, T-Beaks 15, Tense George, The Classiest Hobo, Tim Strothman, Thomas Blaze Fauchereau, Tim Mann, Tim O'Keefe, TJ Sullivan, Toasty Soul, Tom Masterman, Travis Kikowski, Travis Ing, Travis Miosi, Trevor Thomas, Tristan Howard, Trizac, Tuttle, Tyler Wallace, V8 Dave, V. Kira Ray, Volker Bach, Wavy Chula, Willow Pingree, Wobess, Wouter DeHaze, ZK.